All right, before we start this video, first of all, I would like to say that I speak and explain things very slowly. And that might be a problematic for you if you're looking for a video that is very fast paced. But in my point of view, it doesn't really work because, when I have to explain the tools and the techniques, you can, catch the explanation and understand the explanation very well when somebody speaks very slowly. That's just my point of view. However, we can go down in the tool of your video and then speed it up to make the video even faster if you like. Second, it's always useful to come back to the video whenever necessary because you might forget what I just explained. And in order to revisit the video, make sure that you save the video for future reference. And third, go down in the description below and then click on the link in order to download the software. Unless you already have the software, that's fine. But if you don't have it, go down in the description below and then click the link in order to download the software to try it out by yourself. Best way to learn anything. And then if you like, I'm more than happy to provide you the raw photo that I'm using for this video so that you can practice it on your own. And that way, you will never forget any tools and you can actually learn a lot faster. Now, let's jump into the video. Enjoy photography. I always feel like a narcissist every time I edit my own photo, but just for the sake of tutorial, here we are. So this is one of my images, that self-portrait I've taken with my Lumix FZ200. Now, objective is to, as you saw in the template, that to create some sort of gritty, contrasty black and white image, which I personally love quite a lot. Now, we're going to work in combination with DxO Photolab. Then I could actually open the Nick collection directly from there because objective is to work on the black and white image, and then silver effects is just crazy good. But I would like to open exact same images directly in Affinity Photo because we're going to work with another set of plugin that I'm going to show you. It calls Retouch4Me, which is practically clean up the face, just a matter of one click with all these little imperfections that generally takes hours to clean up. For example, the nose right there, things like that, it takes time. And you have to make sure that regardless of edit, they look quite realistic. So in the professional world, they are very important. So we're going to just, first of all, make sure the image is nice, clean, and correct. To do so, I'm going to turn on the smart lighting. Pretty simple. There's not a big change. That's fine. Then second thing I'm going to do is actually, because there's one thing that I would like to do already here, not in Nick collection, which is brightening up my eyes. But before I do so, I have to make sure that my image is very neutral, like color neutral. So either I can open like a Fuji Eterna or Cinema, Pro Neg, or even Astia. Or if you don't have the DxO film pack, in that case, I recommend you to go back to the either portrait template, like a standard, but that's a little bit too contrasty in my opinion. You need something like super flat. Then the general purpose, then neutral color with optical correction. So that makes your image neutral. There is no nothing too excessive, let's say. Once it's done, then I'm going to go to local adjustment. In the local adjustment, I'm going to turn on the control point, make sure I zoomed in quite a bit, and point it on my eye. Make sure it's nice and small. You see, this is where the Nick collection is actually quite nice, because in Nick collection, you can even make the diameter a bit more like oval if you want to. You can move it. But here you can just unfortunately can keep it just around, and that it's a little bit inconvenient, but I'm sure that they're going to bring it over as an update future. I'm sure about it. It's just a matter of time, maybe a couple of years. But let's focus on this particular image. Just a little bit luma and chroma, focusing on the eyeball. Then I'm going to turn on the clear view plus, bit of a micro contrast. Of course, the objective is to recover shadow. Essentially, the objective is to make sure that it's bright. That's our objective. So I can actually bring it over just a little bit there. Now better. Just a touch highlight. Make sure that my blacks are right. Bit more shadow, not too much though. You have to make it nice and natural. Then I'm going to do exact same thing over this eye. Let's see, it works as I want it to. So you're going to see that there is another software that I'm going to use to get rid of this little reflection, but we're not going to give up all the information right now. A bit more mid-tone. Don't mind a little bit of more macro contrast. Let's see. Perfectly fine now. It's all good. Once I'm done, I'm going to turn off the local adjustment. Looks fine by me. It's already quite punchy, at least the eye. Because remember, in portrait photography, eyes are the element that people are going to pay attention to. So, very important. All right. Now, make sure the image is clean and nice and sharp. So I'm going to turn on deep prime. Lens softness is on. If you want to see the difference of the deep prime, I'm going to show you in the loop tool. I'm going to focus on the eye. Let's see if I can do it on 200%. It takes a little bit of time to, show you the effect. Of course, unfortunately, depends on your computer. It takes some time. So hang on a second. So I'm going to turn off and on. So lens softness before, after. See that it's very nice, very subtle. Noise reduction before, after. Pretty amazing, isn't it? Now we are pretty much done. Only thing I could think of doing is crop. So I'm going to make a square crop. Square, probably, yeah, that's about right. Close. Now export to application. Now I'm going to open in application. Well, for the sake of tutorial, I'm going to open as a 8-bit compressed instead of a 16-bit. But I recommend you to use 16-bit to have the maximum quality available. Now here we are, the nice and clean image opened up at the Affinity photo. I'm pretty sure that you paid attention how I did that. So you can go back to Photolab, export to application. So you have a list of things, export to disk, Flickr, Lightroom, and application, which practically works the same way that Nick collection. So essentially, once you go to browse, you have to make sure that you select whatever software .exe. So once you've done, it will create a list. I already have a pre-existed list, so I recommend you to do that. And then you are good to go. Which going to open a second copy. You can see that this second copy of the edited version. So this is going to open. So I don't necessarily need anymore the DxO Photolab. For now, I'm going to close it to make sure that my resource are not overused. Now we're in Affinity Photo. The reason why I came here to use the Nick collection instead of directly from Photolab is because I'm going to right click and create a duplicate, and we're going to work on that. Now I'm going to go to filter, plugin, and then I have this set of software called Retouch4Me. Now, Retouch4Me are generally dedicated plugins for portrait retouching in one click. Luminar does the same thing. However, I find the Luminar's tools are a little bit too fake. They're not natural. So I need something that really nice and natural. So we're going to start with dodge and burn. I'm going to show you before and after. So I'm going to click dodge and burn. Now, this is a version that's already been fixed. So I'm going to show you the original. Before, after, before, after. Would you like to see what happened? So I'm going to show you. There you go. You can see that this yellow, whatever you see the yellow, that's the one that actually the affected area. So original, after. So all this part, you can see, those are the one that have been fixed. I'm going to go back. So let me show you again, before, after. Pay attention to the details. You see that is very subtle, is very natural, and that's the reason why I love this software, because it saves you God knows how many minutes or if not hours of time. That you know, it's life-saving. So I'm going to add a little bit, I guess, more of the blend, more of the, and then more of the warmth, because warm portrait is always nice. So preview, after. So original, after, original, after. So apply. I'm going to stop it. And even zooming in to close up, I'm going to show you a little bit of a close up. So you can see that it's a subtle change. Right. Now, it's not done yet. So we did dodge and burn, but you can see that on my nose, we had, you know, those, let's say some sort of imperfection, which is not very compatible for professional photography, you know, when you're doing for marketing and all that. So you need to fix all that, you know, dry skin, you know, I'm not really into makeups and all that. So you need to fix all these, let's say, issues, all these marks of my old age. So filter, plugin, Retouch4Me, and this is where it comes. I'm going to turn on heal. And with a click of just opening the software, already fixed all the problems. So before, after, before, after. You probably don't see it yet, but there's a lot of things been fixed. I'm going to zoom in on my forehead first. Before, after, before, after. You see that? That's why I like this software, because I look still quite normal, let's say, or natural. Yet, there are a lot of very subtle problems have been fixed. Before, after, before, after. So you can, you know, reduce the sensitivity or raise the sensitivity. I'm going to maximum anyway, because I think that my face needs a lot of work. Before, after. So my nose still, you know, you have a little bit of something, but that's fine. I say that it's acceptable. It's acceptable. You can, of course, with the brush, add some more if you want to, but, you know, I personally would stay there. I don't have to fix it, let's say. I'm happy with my face. But this is a beautiful example of why this thing is awesome. So apply. So before, after, before, after. Now, the final few set of plugins that I'm going to use. Again, plugin, Retouch4Me, and then mattifier. So it makes my skin quite smooth, as if I did some sort of makeup, but very natural way. You see that I don't know if you noticed, but there is something happened already. So original, after. So it's already on my nose or any other area, generally on the nose, the super highlight area are being mattified. So they generally control the highlight area that has a harsh look. So I can actually make it a bit more aggressive, because I think I need it. So before, after, going backward, before, after, on my lip as well, especially before, after. Perfect. What I would like to have from this particular plugin, that I wish I don't have to go back and forth and do all that in one go.
before, after. You see that it's a magical change. The reason why I'm taking too much time here, only because that I'm explaining to you. Otherwise, I wouldn't take that long. Then what did I do? I have to work on my eyes. So eye vessel. I have a lot of eye vessel because I'm a tired guy, guys. I'm super tired. So eye vessel. Let me show you something amazing. Before, after. Do you see that? Before, after. You see how subtle this work. Before, after. Before, after. That's already amazing. I don't need to do anything at all. So it's done. One click and it's gone. Finally, I don't have the teeth, so I'm not going to work on my teeth. Finally, eye brilliance. So our objective is to make my eyes a little bit bright, which I could do in the collection again, but I'm here. Why not save some time? Before, after. So let's just go closer. I already did earlier with my eyeballs, but objective is to make sure that globally it works. So let's show you the mask. You see that where the mask is working. I could probably get rid of all this mask around the eye, but I don't think it's necessary because it's look, in my opinion, natural enough. So before, after. I could exaggerate a little, just a touch. Before, after, before, after, before, after. Right, there you go. Now, this is, I'm going to change Retouch4Me. I highly recommend you to download the trial of this plugin. I swear it's going to save your time. It's going to save your life when it comes to portrait photography. And it looks so much natural. Obviously, I slightly overdid my eyes here because that's how I would like to see myself. But you can see that you can control it if you want to. And everything still looks natural. Nothing look plasticky. You know, one of those, you don't look like a cartoon. So before, after. Again, before, after. Before, after. It's very, 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 very nice. Finally, let's turn in this image to black and white. So filter, plugin, and new collection. Obviously, you are going to directly to Silver Efex. Now, I'm going to close it. What we are looking for, I personally prefer something nice, beautiful, powerful, and contrasty, gritty, you know, not soft, not glowy and beautiful like a slow motion Hollywood crap. I'm talking about something like this, something like punchy. It has to make an impact. I want some sort of that. So we are going to select a preset, either this, it has a nice contrast, or classic portrait, but it has too much grain. So we're going to select a proper preset. Let's say we're going to see at classic. This one looks pretty harsh in my opinion. So I like it. What else? Intense grain, but we're not looking for grain. So modern. What do we have in modern? Full dynamic, harsh dynamic. That's also could be a choice. This is too smooth. So no. Again, I'm looking for something meaningful, powerful, and punchy. Just out of curiosity, I like this one though, but we're not going to select this for sure. All this work is gone only because of what, you know what I mean? So intense contrast again, that looks about right in my opinion, but I have too much shadow, which I can work. I could work on with the local adjustment, but I'm looking for something straightforward. So intense contrast again, street gritty, there you go. But I don't want the grain though. I don't want the grain. So I'm going to turn off the grain. Perfect. What else? There's still grain in my opinion. Not really fan of the grain. I don't know how to get rid of it. Original grain. There you go. Perfect. Now we don't have any more grain. Now I'm going to make it white. I'm going to make white a little bit more white. So let's say the fine structure to the maximum. Amplify blacks. Probably not, because what I want is not to amplify black, let's say, because I need details though. I need details. So therefore, soft contrast, a little bit lower to -34. Mid-tone, quite high. I need a lot of midtone. Fine texture, I'm going all the way to 100. Screw it. Let's protect the shadow. So my objective is to save the shadow to 100%. I don't need to protect my highlight though. Clear view gives a nice contrast as well. Now I can add some more midtone and I can add some more black because I said that I want to protect shadow. And in the curve, I'm going to move up the upper midtone and slow down the dark area. You see what happened? You want to see that before and after? I don't know if I can show you. So before, after, it gets even crazier. And when I say crazy, in a powerful way. Beauty of vignette. Vignette always works. Guys, I don't know about you, but this image is so powerful. It's unbelievable. Before, after. Now, up until now, it's done. But I told you something, that there is a reflection in the eye that I want to get rid of. How? So I'm going to click apply first. So again, I'm going just for the sake of fun, before, after. I don't know if I can smooth my surface, but I don't really care. Now we're going to open this image in Luminar Neo, and we're going to use the Zen Erase, which is available as a plugin with the Zen Erase, which is fantastic. But unfortunately, I cannot open it as a plugin because I'm going to show you why. Let's open the Skylum software, Luminar Neo. Now, when I open this thing in Luminar Neo, I go to edit. Unfortunately, I don't have the plugins such as especially the plugin called Zen Erase. What I have is something like basic ones, like a clone tool. They are not the best. Unfortunately, they are not the best at all. So I'm quite disappointed that I cannot open it right from here. So I have to actually export it and open this thing separately. Like you have the noiseless and super sharp here, but not the other ones. So I'm quite disappointed about that. So I'm going to cancel it and export. Now, finally, we have this file opened up in Luminar Neo. I do have an update. Let me take a look at the updates. Oh, I don't care about those. When you go back to Catalog tab, now you have all these tools available. I have the Gen Swipe, Gen Expand, Swap, Expand, Swap. You can swap with one or the other, and Zen Erase. Check it out. This tool is freaking fantastic, guys. I swear. So we're going to select that and that, and then click erase. Now, I don't know if you notice the difference, but this is what originally we had with the reflection, and that's after all the change. See that you still have a little bit, but it's actually fine, because just like the rest of the edit, I want to have a little bit of a reflection because I think it's natural. I personally believe it's natural. However, this one is pretty strong, so it's very visible. But here, you do have a little, reflection, but it's quite subtle. It's there. It kind of matches with the rest of the eye. So I'm going to export, and I'm going to compare the entire edit that we have done so far side by side. All right, guys, let's open it. Right. So far in this image, I'm showing you everything, the resume of this video, which is at the bottom left, you have the DxO, which is unedited, completely raw. In DxO Photolab, we have done a little bit of a noise reduction, classic correction, and we have brightened the eyes, and that's it. And we also made sure the image is neutral in terms of the color. Then we open the image in Affinity Photo. In Affinity Photo, what we did, we used the Nick collection Silver Efex and give this dark, bright, black and white contrasty image, which is about 90% of the job is done. And finally, we opened the Luminar Neo, where we got rid of all the iris of the image and gave a nice and natural look to make sure that it kind of matches. It does not look too harsh. Is it a problem? Of course not. However, it changes quite a lot. Now, I got to be honest to one thing. I wouldn't mind a little bit more in terms of the vignette in the final image. So, is it necessary? The vignette always kind of my personal preference because it makes the image stand out quite a bit. It's in the. I opened the image in fast tone image viewer. I don't think I have the vignette in this particular software. So what I could do though, I could go back to DxO Photolab and I open my final image, go to customize, nice and quick, go to the Efex, and then thanks to DxO Film Pack, I have the creative vignetting where I could use some more vignette, and now we are talking. You see that it looks nice and quite nice and amazing. The midpoint, I have to make sure that it's just about right. Not too much, it's just about right. So maybe not too much, not too much. And then I'm going to go to the export to disk. Make sure the standard output, go to my same folder, desktop, my photo, select folder, I could say new. Now I'm going to reset. So close the both window. That's after the vignette. There you go. I hope that you like this this little tutorial. It takes a lot to work on the image. I love image editing as such because it's actually kind of a meditation for me. It keeps me in the present. I forget about the past. I forget about the future. I hope it does the same to you. Look after yourself and bye-bye.